In today's video, once again, I'm photographing my signature red for a DIY Valentine's Day shoot. Hey everybody, Lindsay Adler here. Every year for the holidays, regardless of the holiday, I set aside time with my team to create themed images. And so whether it's Valentine's Day or Halloween or Christmas, my team knows that we're going to create some beautiful images. And the reason I like this is it's very shareable on social media, right? It's relevant holiday content, but it also gets us planning. Like all year round, we're thinking, well, what are we going to do for next Valentine's Day? And of course, because we do these shoots a lot and they're really just for fun, we want to do it on a budget. So it's pretty cool to see how each year my team and I can come up with a different approach to a DIY shoot. And so we've done everything from covering the subject in stickers to making dresses out of fabric. And this year, my makeup artist Grant created this beautiful headpiece using under $20 of material. Now, as you know, this headpiece isn't a snap of the fingers and suddenly it looks amazing. I mean, maybe you're crafty and you can do this easily, but what I do to help elevate my work and make me better is I surround myself with talented people. And that could be a hairstylist or makeup artist, but I found friends who can make dresses or who can make headpieces, and we work together and we get excited to create these images for the holidays. So this headpiece was made by my talented makeup artist, Grant. And I gave him the assignment. I said, hey, for this year's Valentine's Day, how about you come up with some sort of cool makeup design or maybe a headpiece? And this is what he created. I also gave the restriction that all of the tools that would be used would cost under $20. So let me just show you what was used. For the frame of the actual headpiece, so the little pieces that come out, he got a $6 wreath at a craft shop. Next up, he got a couple different pieces of these foam. Each one is about $1 a piece, so pink and red. Then he wanted something to wrap the wreath in so that it would stay red. He used some tulle that he had lying around. And then lastly, those little rings that the lips are attached to, spent about $7 on the rings used in this. So everything all together, all the tools, under $20. So I'll just put it like this. Just because something doesn't cost a lot doesn't mean it can't look beautiful. And certainly you can spend time, and there are tons of tutorials online that can show you how to get crafty. Or you can put your effort into finding people that can help you bring cool ideas to life. And speaking of bringing ideas to life, let's actually get to the photography part of the equation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my lighting and concept. When I saw this headpiece, of course, I instantly felt drawn to the color red. It is my favorite color. So why not have another Valentine's Day shoot with the theme of red? So I wanted to introduce red in some way in this shot. Perhaps in the background, maybe a gel somewhere else in the image. I'm going to bring this together with a total of 3 lights. So let's begin with our main light. I wanted to create a hard light so it was kind of poppy. I didn't think this looked soft and romantic. It's definitely a little bit edgier, and so a hard light I thought would really give me the pop and contrast for the mood I was feeling. My main light is on a Profoto D2 on the right-hand side of the frame, and it is a Westcott Optical Spot with the 150mm lens. So this is the beauty lens. I'm going to use that to create a slice of light on the face. If you watch a lot of my tutorials, or if you've seen a lot of my creative work, you know that this is one of my go-to modifiers. And the reason I choose this is because it is a super hard light, and then it has those shutters or those leaves that allow me to open and close them so I can decide how big the slice of light is. Let's take a shot with that first light. What I love about this hard light is you can see not only how controlled it is, but look at how it just pales out her skin. If my concept is to go for red, it's nice to neutralize the skin because then any additional color I add can give me just a red-white color palette, which is exactly how I love to shoot. All right, so headpiece is awesome, but I can't see it. So I need to do something. I need to either light the background so there's a little bit of separation there, or have a fill light to fill in the shadows. And so in this shot, I'm actually going to do both. Where we're going to begin is the second light, which will be our background light. I'm shooting with a Savage Universal Fashion Gray background. This is my go-to whenever I intend to gel the background, which is what I'm going to do in this instance to make it red. So behind the subject, I have a light on a floor stand, and on it is this rich, saturated blood red gel. I use this as my go-to, and you can find it in the Rosco Color Effects Kit. Now, another thing you'll notice is that light is pointed low. And the reason we're doing that is it's going to make the bottom of the frame a little bit brighter, and then it will gradate and get darker towards the top of the frame. So let's turn on our second light and I'll show you what it's adding to the image. I think that when I point a light low, this is a really easy way to get a more interesting background. Instead of everything being really flat lit, it creates a little bit of depth to the image. And so that's why you'll see in this shot, it's a little brighter below the shoulders and then it fades at the top of the frame. So if I only had 2 lights, I think this could definitely work. That being said, I would like to see a little more detail in the headpiece. And so that's where I'm going to add my third and final light, which is a fill light that you see over here behind me. Once again, we have another Profoto strobe, but this time the modifier is a beauty dish with a grid. This is an important choice because the grid is going to help us not have the light spill on the background. In other words, it contains the spread of that light. There's one more extra thing that's special about this light is we've also added another red gel. So the same one that was on the background is also going to be in the fill light. So what that's going to do is going to fill in the shadows on the face as well as on the lips and the headpiece and introduce that color. So in the end, the color palette is pale white skin and then everything else is just rich, saturated red. So let me show you what our last light is adding to the scene. I love how much that just pops, and now you can see all the lips. And speaking of the lips, these are actually my makeup artist lips. They kissed the pieces of foam and then cut them out and put them on the headpiece. So again, getting creative, DIY, keeping with the theme. All right, so I have 3 lights here. And then the last thing I have to play with is the angle of the subject's head. As she moves left to right, I can position the lips in different places. Plus, I can change the spread of light from the main light, create smaller slices of light, or point it on just one side of the face or the other. And as I shoot, I'm using a beauty lens. I'm using the Canon R5 Mark II, and then on it is the RF 70-200 2.8 lens. I chose this because I wanted some shots that would be a little bit wider, you know, head and shoulders, but then I could pop in close and get something where it would just be half of the face, and then you could see the details of the lips surrounding the subject. Okay, so with that, we're ready to go. Let's get the shot. This is the 5th, 6th, or even 7th year in a row that I've gotten together with my creative team to make another Valentine's Day themed image. And I never get bored of it because the whole point is, since we've done something like this before, we have to reinvent ourselves every year, which means we're continually creatively pushing ourselves. And it's fun, and it gives us something to share, and it's just another way to bond with my creative team. So if you guys want to see the gear used to make the images in this video, be sure to check out the links in the description below and visit Adorama.com. All right, everybody, be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more of it. And of course, have a wonderful Valentine's Day.